A CBS News investigation shows the credit card industry is blocking a new effort to report suspicious gun purchases to law enforcement. Our chief investigative correspondent, Jim Axelrod, has the story.
People running out of the theater, they're shot.
They're some of the deadliest mass shootings in history, and they were all financed with credit cards. The shooter who terrorized a Colorado movie theater in 2012 charged more than $9,000 worth of guns, ammo, and tactical gear in 2 months. The man who shot up the Pulse nightclub in Orlando spent more than $26,000. And the shooter who killed 59 at a Las Vegas music festival charged almost $95,000.
People aren't bringing sacks of cash.
Exactly. They use credit cards.
Priscilla Sims Brown, the CEO of Amalgamated Bank, says the bank could run software to identify suspect gun purchases in the same way it detected other suspicious activity like fraud and human trafficking. But it was missing a key piece of information, a unique merchant code banks and credit card companies could use to identify firearms sellers. And while even shoeshine parlors have their own merchant code, the nearly 9,000 standalone U.S. gun sellers do not. So Amalgamated tried to create one.
You apply to a panel, a committee of sorts. It includes credit card companies.
MasterCard, Visa,
Yes.
American Express, they all have representatives on this
Correct.
committee.
That's right.
Documents obtained by CBS News show the committee rejected Amalgamated's application twice. The bank was told a code for gun and ammo sellers wouldn't identify the sales at sporting goods stores, and the burden primarily would fall on small retailers.
If I wanted to get a merchant code for something else, it wouldn't be a problem. There's a problem with this one.
Just because it's guns.
According to a statement, the card industry reps only advised the committee in a personal capacity. Yet Visa, MasterCard, and American Express all did not say if they supported creating a merchant code for firearm sellers. MasterCard said it was up to elected officials to address the issue of gun violence.
What do you think of credit card companies that say it's not our responsibility?
Well, this is our responsibility. We have an obligation to address crime facilitated through our system.
And Jim Axelrod joins me now for more on this. Jim, it's good to see you. Gun rights advocates would say Amalgamated Bank is just trying to root around in our privacy. What does the bank say to that?
Well, you could actually hear Priscilla Sims Brown, just at the end of that piece. You heard her say it's the question of crime, of criminal activity. In other words, in her view, it doesn't really matter whether you're talking about a gun owner or someone who doesn't own a gun, as long as you're talking about people who want to be law-abiding citizens, that using a merchant code to track sales and suspicious patterns of sales is only designed to try to find illegal activity. It has nothing to do with taking guns out of the hands of people who legally are entitled to have them.
And Jim, are there other instances in which these codes are used to track bad activity?
John, I think that's actually a critically important point. These merchant category codes have been used as they're analyzed by other law enforcement officials looking for patterns. They've rooted out mortgage fraud. They've been used to root out patterns of purchasing that might be tied to human trafficking. So if this idea of isolating purchases and looking for suspicious patterns of purchases with certain goods or services have been used successfully in fighting other crime, why not guns?
And what does Amalgamated say to the question of whether this will really be effective? In other words, whether just the help of this code is really going to do any good?
Well, we spoke with Priscilla Sims Brown just after this most recent spate of shootings, and she said, look, if it's going to save one life, what kind of price are you going to put on that? That yes, even if it is just a slice or if it's designed just to root out a couple of people that might have caused some kind of mass shooting incident and it saves a couple of lives, we don't want to do that. That she wants to start this sort of change in thinking about what is the art of the possible when it comes to analyzing patterns of suspicious purchases so that maybe future tragedies can be prevented before they happen.
Jim Axelrod, Jim, really interesting reporting. Thank you.
Thank you, John.